Okay, I am trying something different today. I am shooting a recipe video, but I'm gonna shoot it with me talking over it instead of using music in the background. So watch the recipe video, and if you like it and want me to continue to shoot more like this, comment below and let me know. So for this recipe, I'm first going to trim and wash Brussels sprouts. So what I do is I usually remove some of the top layers of the leaves, and then I simply just cut the ends off around there, and then I throw them in a bowl and I wash them. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. So I just washed the Brussels sprouts, and now I'm gonna use my food processor on the slicing blade at the top, and I'm gonna shred these. However, if you don't have a food processor, don't worry. You could simply just slice these with a sharp knife like this. Just slice it very thin. Because it's shaved, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect slices. You just wanna slice them very thin, and that'll work out as well. Just be careful you don't cut yourself. But to make it quicker, I'm going to use my handy food processor. This is a new toy for me, so I love using it. Maybe I'll get sick of it one day, but right now I'm gonna use it. So I'm just throwing them in the top section of the processor, and this is the first time I'm doing this, so let's see if it works. Perfect, that's amazing. See how fast that is? So food processor is worth it if you can buy one. I bought this one at Canadian Tire in Canada. It's a Ninja, and I'll link it down below. It is pretty, wasn't very expensive. I think it was around $139, I think. It was on sale when I bought it. Anywho, I'll link it below if you're interested in it. Hit the disc. That is awesome and fast. The Brussels sprouts are still a little watery, which I think will be okay because we're gonna roast them in the oven. They'll dry out in there. And amazing. So I am using about a pound of Brussels sprouts, by the way. And I'm gonna put the last little bit that I didn't slice off of in there, and I'm done. That's it. See how easy that was? Open that up. There's still some leaves always on the top, but that's okay since they're shaved and they're just leaves. Doesn't matter. Drop that in there. These blades are really sharp too, so be careful when you remove it. And that's it. I'm gonna put these sliced ones in there too. And so I'm gonna use that for my roasted Brussels sprouts, shaved Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna make it with walnuts and bacon. I might add some blue cheese to it as well. That's it. Let's move on to the sheet pan. So I have my bacon here. I'm just going to chop it up in about 1-inch pieces, and then I'm gonna mix it with the Brussels sprouts on the sheet pan. So I don't have to pre-cook, as it'll cook in the oven with everything else. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm using an old sheet pan just because I don't want to put any parchment paper on it or tin foil. I want the Brussels sprouts to get a little charred while they're on the pan, and I feel if I use parchment paper, it may not get as charred as I want it. Use your own discretion though. If you feel you need parchment paper, go ahead. I'm using an old pan and I don't mind if it gets scarred up or charred up. So first we're putting the Brussels sprouts, just laying it out on a pan. And again, if you think this is a lot, it's gonna break down, wilt down quite a bit. So don't worry too much that it might be too much. Although it depends. If you really like them, you might want to make more. If you aren't feeding a lot of people or don't really think you're gonna enjoy this, but you're just making it for your kids or someone else. Although, do kids really eat Brussels sprouts? I don't know. They'll eat this for real. So we're adding that, and then we're gonna add the olive oil. So I'm just gonna drizzle it with olive oil. We want it to get nice and crispy, so olive oil will help with that, but we also need to keep it a little moist. So I'd probably say I used about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The chopped walnuts, just gonna sprinkle that. We're gonna mix this all up once everything's on it, but for now, just adding about half a cup of chopped walnuts. And then I have about a cup of blue cheese, crumbled blue cheese. And don't worry, if you don't like blue cheese, you don't have to add it. I go through phases where I love it, and then sometimes I don't love it. Right now I love it, so I'm gonna use it. So that's going in there. And we can't forget about our beloved bacon that we chopped up earlier. So that, again, I know it's raw and you might not like that. It looks kind of gross, but it'll cook. Drop it in there in spots. Get it all over the place. And after that, we're just gonna add some salt and pepper. And then we're gonna stir it up with we're gonna use our hands today. Let me clean my hands so I can use the salt and pepper. I'm back. Salt it. Just a sprinkle of salt across the entire pan. Say that's probably about half a teaspoon. And then a sprinkle of black pepper across the entire pan. And that's it. Let's get in there with your hands. Don't be afraid. If you see any bacon that's stuck together, try and separate them so they're evenly spread around. Mix everything together. If you don't feel there's enough olive oil, feel free to add some more, but I think I added enough. You can see it sort of glisten. So you know there's enough olive oil. Make sure everything's mixed in. Everything gets a little piece of everything. The salt and pepper is mixed through. So then spread it out evenly. And so we're gonna make this in a preheated oven at 400. And it's gonna be 30 minutes. But halfway through at 15 minutes, you're going to give it a little toss and mix everything around. And then give it another 15 minutes and it should be good. So see you in 30 minutes. Okay, the Brussels sprouts are done. I'm going to take them out of the oven and show you what they look like. Super hot. Look at that. They look yummy. Ooh. Some of them have some crispy bits. Some of them are nice and soft. The bacon is cooked how I like it. Not too charred, not too crispy. It's in between. Oftentimes I find when you cook bacon, if it's over crispy, it's gross. If it's under crispy, it's undercooked, it's also gross. But it's just in between when It's crispy, but there's some chewy bits. That's how I like my bacon. You know what? I'm gonna try some. A little bit of bacon, a little bit of Brussels sprout. Oh yeah. A little hint of the blue cheese. The blue cheese pretty much melted in with everything, which is great. There's not that many walnuts in here, so I didn't taste any walnut, but I probably will when I bite into one. But so that's it. It was only in the oven for 30 minutes at 400, and then I flipped it and tossed it at 15 minutes. That was it. That's Brussels sprouts with blue cheese, bacon, and walnuts. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. Okay. I took a big spoonful. I definitely taste the blue cheese, which goes so well. And I also taste the walnuts. This is perfect. It's a perfect combination. I've never had it until now. Well, I made it last week. But that was a test, and today was the final product. And oh my gosh, what a great combo. The bacon, the walnuts, the blue cheese, the shaved Brussels sprouts, the olive oil, the crispiness. It is so good. You must try it.